this outside today because the sun is just so beautiful and bright. It's so nourishing. All the elements are here. The wind is saying hello as I say that. Oh my gosh, we are made up of these elements, right? The earth and everything in it, you know, on it, around it is part of us, right? And it's so important to connect with that, because when we connect with the earth, we connect with ourselves, right? We feel more centered and grounded. There may be noise in the background, so apologies for that. And I just want to say hello to everybody that's been joining me for the 30 days of meditation, right? So we've just been doing a silent meditation, 15 minutes each day, just to help kickstart a beautiful self-love practice and habit of being centered, being still, finding clarity, high vibration through that stillness. I'm here today to bring through some messages I've been receiving this week from the angelic realms, from the Fey realms, and just some love and support. And it's to do with our expansion, it's to do with our throat chakra, it's to do with projection, because there is a lot of projection happening right now. There is a lot of this fear, like deeply rooted, deeply embedded fear that is wanting to come forth and heal and alchemize, right? And when I say fear, you know, fear is nothing to be afraid of. It's simply an illusion, and it comes up in different ways, right? So it can come up as anxiety or frustration or someone else projecting onto us. Now, for some, or for many, for most actually, I don't know anyone that's not said this to me now, but Wednesday we had this wonderful and very powerful alignment of a conjunction, I should say, of Mars and Aries. Mars in Aries, Chiron in Aries, both of them were in Aries together, you know, having a wonderful conjunction. And what happens when Chiron, the wounded healer, and Mars, which is our will, right, our masculine energy, what happens when, you know, they're in Aries, which is the initiator, the instigator, and our identity, you know, what can happen with those two together is that things that we've not fully healed from how we show up and from who we are, like self-worth around our identity, being worthy to walk the path that we are on, may come up, right? We may see that and feel that within ourselves. We may be triggered. People from the past may be coming up to help remind us that we get to choose differently how to respond, right? Because this is what happens in this world of expansion that we're in, is that everything expands with us as we expand, which happens constantly. We cannot not expand. Right, in our desires, in our knowing, in our path, we can't not expand. We're constantly expanding, but so is everything else. I have a very beloved family member who, you know, who sometimes has some worries around finances, and they say to me, you know, oh, 50 years ago, right, 50 years ago, something cost this much, you know, it only cost very small amount that you could buy a house for £1,000 50 years ago, £4,000, something like that. And obviously today the prices are very, very different. And I was saying to this very beloved family member, I was like, yeah, but we don't want to get trapped in this fear of scarcity, because on this planet, nothing is scarce, nothing is in lack, nothing is limited on this planet. The only thing that is our mind. And what I mean by that is that if something costs £4,000, for example, a house cost £4,000 50 years ago, and today it costs maybe 200 grand, money, cash, isn't a finite thing. There must have been more produced for prices to raise. For any time there is a price increase, there must be more money in order for people to pay for it, right? You know, more of it, for something to go up, for something to increase, like the cost of something, then there must be more of it on this earth. The only thing that limits us, is our mind, and whether we feel that we are able to receive that, right? Say hi as you're jumping on. I see some people popping on live here. If you want to say hi, and let me know where you're tuning in from, you know, how this is helping or resonating. Let me know how you're doing. Oh, hey, and before I continue, actually, tonight between 7 and 9 p.m. I have one space available for a live one-to-one. I am offering 30-minute recorded readings, which are obviously, you know, they're recorded MP3s and sent through to you, which I'll still be doing throughout the next few weeks. But this is the last one-to-one live face-to-face one-to-one that I'll have for a couple of weeks now, because I'm booked up until July. So if you feel called to booking a one-to-one, please visit my website. I'll make sure it's linked below, because you're still in that Gemini season offer as well of receiving a free 3-day blue rose healing from the Pleiadians, which is something that I channel through and offer as well. So that's a complimentary gift if you book a session before this weekend. So just putting that out there as well before I forget. But yeah, so going back to it, and I was asking the Angelics about this. I was asking, you know, how's a good way to explain the expansion of money and kind of to move us out of this limited mindset. And you know, they were saying it is very much about realizing that as for something to get bigger, so we can look at this in a quantitative state, right? We can look at this in a quantitative state in terms of how much someone may want for an exchange. If we can find a way to be happy and to be in appreciation of knowing that when we offer an exchange in the form of currency, of money, of some form, or any type of energy, but especially because money is always a big one for everyone, if we can find a way to feel so appreciative that we have that energy, what happens is more of that energy comes through. So if we can find a way of being so appreciative that I'm able to pay this particular increase of price, I'm able to fuel up my car, that's a big one right now, I'm able to fuel up my car. If we can find appreciation, knowing that that fuel will help us go somewhere, give us the freedom that we desire, then what actually happens in the law of attraction is that we will attract more of it, because what happens normally is a lot of people are trying to manifest instead of just magnetizing, because our innate presence magnetizes whatever our vibration is. So if we desire something and we take it up to the mind, which is limited by our fear, right? Because the mind is as limited, as its ability to connect with the heart. So if it's not connected with the heart space, which oftentimes it's not, you know, because that's where the faith and the trust is down in the heart. So if our mind isn't connected there, what will happen is we will operate from fear and trying to control the situation and thinking that everything is limited and contracting. It's not. Right? It's the opposite. But we have to move down to our heart space to realize that. So when we find appreciation, our vibration is set to appreciation. It's set to abundance. It's set to love. It's set to receive and reception, right? Reception of this energy. We're not blocking it. Because what inevitably most people do when we're manifesting anything is we're trying to manifest. We're coming at it from a place of lack, so vibrationally, because vibration precedes everything. Before something is a word, before it's a thought, before it's a feeling or an emotion, it's a vibration. And if we don't set the vibration to appreciation, which raises it up higher than where most people are, you can do that through meditation, which is why I'm doing the free 30-day meditation series. Or you can do that any other way. Oh, look at that. Okay, I think we're back. My iPad heated up too much. Oh, I have to find a way to prop up the iPad now. Okay, let's carry on. The poor iPad got way too hot. So I'm and just going to sit here like this. So we were talking about finding appreciation, and goodness was I so appreciative just then of having a freezer in the house, because that's where the iPad just went straight into the freezer. But vibration really is how everything operates, because everything is energy, and then we have quantum entanglement, right? So everything's energy, everything's light, everything's sound, everything's electricity. You know, we are a body of light, right? You know, you've heard that by many people. We are a body of light. This is just, it's dense light, right? It's formed into what we perceive to be physical matter. Now, what's really interesting about that is that, you know, we can change everything about us through thought alone, because the thought draws in as well. The thought draws in the patterns, right? But before something can become a pattern, it has to be a vibration, because the thought pattern is simply a translation and an expression of that vibration. So perception is everything, right? Perception is everything. And when we can recognize that there is a gap between because perception is the road between the mind and the heart, right? Perception is the road between the vibration and thought pattern and how it's showing up. When we started offering our inner knowing and trading that for validation from external sources, from parents, teachers, governments, things like that, when we started trading our inner wisdom for collective fears, we inhabit those, they become part of us. That is what is shifting right now. That is what we're being reminded of right now. We are being called forth to release. And when we're being called to release something, it shows up as a shadow. It shows up as a trigger. It shows up as feeling really uncomfortable because something wants to shake out. Something wants to go. It wants to release. So sometimes we need that something in our face to appear for us to, address that. Right? The throat chakra, many people are finding this week that the throat's a little bit tickly. There is an opening up happening here. Because what is happening is this throat wants to connect. This is also the pathway, right? This is the only chakra that we verbally express from and create from in an outer way. Everything, all the other chakras are a little bit different, but this one is the only chakra. It's so connected with the womb space as well. The vertebrae here is called the cervical vertebrae. The cells that made up the throat belong to the womb when we were a fetus, right? Whether you're a man or a woman now, it doesn't matter, because when your fetus is growing, right, in the mother's womb, every anatomy starts off female before it chooses a gender, right? Now, the reason why we bring that up is because this is clearing, this is attuning and raising its vibration in its own right. So once again, whenever there is something that doesn't flow with the stream of energy and the vibration, the higher vibration that it wants to embody, then, we have to kind of release it. And the last place that it releases is the physical body. So if you've been feeling a little bit tickly here, needing to clear the throat, maybe you're feeling allergies that are kind of going off around here as well, right? It's okay, sit with it. Everything is a sensation. I'm so glad that the sound is great. Everything is a sensation, right? So the sensations are how we translate it. So the sensation is simply energy that we have translated through our physical body, right? If we touch something that's really hot or really cold, we don't actually know what it is that we've touched until our brain registers it and goes, oh, that's hot, or oh, that's cold, oh, I'm going to feel pain, oh, I'm going to feel, cold, until the brain translates it, until the body translates it. So just to kind of wrap it up, because I know this video has had a few disturbances as the iPad is overheated and, all that sunshine. The iPad got triggered, right? The iPad wanted to go through its own upgrade. When we realize that we get to choose how we feel about something, we get to choose how we feel about something. Like I was saying to that beautiful family member earlier on, when we look at money and the cost of things right now, if we can find a way to feel so happy that money is moving through us as a channel, we open ourselves up to receive more of it from unexpected sources. When we can speak, and this is why the throat is also getting activated as well right now, because this is where higher communication comes from. Higher communication is key for integrity. Integrity is alignment of all of your energy bodies. It's alignment of your heart, your higher self, your mind, right? Heart, mind, soul. Alignment, that's integrity, right? So I do have some cards. I'm going to draw some cards to offer some guidance for this weekend. We will be doing a video around the solstice. It's going to be a very powerful time. I might do another video this weekend, but I'm just going to draw some unicorn cards and some inner child cards. Well, nighttime, dreamtime cards, but I'm using them for inner child work right now, because what is happening this week is the inner child is going, listen to me, I've not been heard. Right? That's what's happening. So actually, let's do that first. What does the inner child need right now? The inner child needs to know that it's loved. It needs to know that it's loved. It needs to know that it's part of something, that it's part of a family, right? Look at this, we've got flower of life here, that it's blossoming, that we're all loved. That's what we all desire, right? Is to know that we are loved, and we are, right? There we are. But that comes from within. If we don't feel that within, if we don't feel that connection with the earth, that's why I said at the start, you know, connect with the earth, connect with the elements, because that's your mother. That's where your body comes from, right? You know, oh, wow, we have this dark lion coming through. Look at the light of the eyes beaming forth. Courage through the darkness. See in the dark. The void, right? That darkness is the void. It's feminine energy. It's where you can birth. It's where you can cocoon, and then rebirth something. Look at this. Brilliant light shines forth from your forehead. Absolutely. This helps you see wonderful things. We have to remind our inner child that the world is a beautiful place. If we don't show our inner child that we get to choose to perceive it that way, then what happens is someone else will program it, and the collective right now is still in fear. And that is going to be the program. We need to remind ourselves that we project out of this space. We command from this space. These are directly connected because the third eye also connects with the crown and the wisdom that we have. This needs to be open and clear. I did a workshop Wednesday, actually, Discover Your Light Within. It was a higher throat activation, healing, and a light language expression workshop. And you can still get the replay, actually. That's still on my website if you want to purchase the replay. But it was very powerful because it unlocked such deep energy that we don't even realize is there until we start to feel physically what's going on, right? So let's see what the angels are saying for this week ahead. And then I'm going to say so much love. Adieu. Cocoon of white light. Absolutely. Be peaceful. Be calm. Rest in perfect love and understand oneness. This is a time of oneness, of understanding that. And to understand it, we have to be it. To be it, we have to realize that, you know, there is no separation between me and you, between you and your neighbor, between the floor, the earth, the sky, all of it. No separation. Similarly, physical things, the iPad and me, no separation. Money and you, no separation. Right? So how we feel about everything is so important. The inner child commands your finances, right? I say that because that's a big one. People seem to be bringing that up a lot this week because in respective parts of the world, there are massive hikes in cost of things, but there's nothing to be afraid of, right? It's only in fear do we restrict our ability to have what we desire and what we need. So rest in this cocoon of light. Allow yourself that space to be the butterfly which transforms, right? And there is a beautiful golden rose, cosmic pool, right? Bathe in cosmic love, soak up the wisdom. This is a union time of masculine, feminine energy. You have the feminine energy nourishing, nurturing, loving on you. And the masculine energy bringing that wisdom, opening your crown, right? That lightness through, that faith, that trust, that protection, that worthiness of being here on earth, right? And cosmic ruby, that solar plexus energy, right? Cosmic mastery, master your mind, master your sensations. That doesn't mean control them, it means honor them, witness them, respect them, connect with them, be intimate with what you're feeling. Because if we don't, guess what? We're easily manipulated. Right? And you came here to be a master of your own life, to be a walking master, to offer peace in your vibration, and love and wisdom, trust and faith. Right? So I'm going to send you all so much love. Thank you for jumping back onto this video. Hope it wasn't too much of a distraction. I don't know whether you actually saw anything, what happened in between that. I'll have to watch back and see, but if you did, it'll be really interesting to see if you saw the insides of the freezer that the iPad was just laying in. It's cooling down. But yeah, spiritual warrior time. Right, it's the build up to Lionsgate. Summer solstice is here. Let's go. If that one-to-one session does call you tonight, just book via the website, aliceheath.com. It'll be a first book to first serve, really. And recorded readings and anything not live is still available for the next couple of weeks as well. But just for live appointments, last one is tonight. So much love, everyone. So many blessings, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.